Hello, welcome. I'm Claudia if you're new here, and if you're back, thank you so much for joining me again. Today we're going to do a couple of simple, or what I hope are simple repots. I'm going to be showing you an update on my latest imports, which was the Monstera Burle Marx Flame and the Anthurium King of Clary, and then a new plant I haven't shown you that needs to be transitioned from its original substrate into pond. So I hope that sounds good to you. Let's get into it. By the way, we're in my kitchen today because I just feel like for mess and tidying up purposes, this is going to be easier. So one of the plants that I'm going to show you, I think I mentioned it in my last video. I did purchase during my plant freeze at a local plant event, and for whatever reason, I just don't count it as me breaking the freeze, but I guess I did. And it's an Anthurium okay, I'm just gonna have to write it down because it's kind of like Repotting, where it took me a really long time to be able to say it. But I have all sorts of hybrids that have it, they're like something pap hybrid, and I didn't have in like original pap, and I just thought that this was so gorgeous. I got a really good deal on it, and yeah, I'm really excited to have one in my collection. It is in a, I think it's like some sort of aroid in addition to sphagnum moss substrate. So I want to go ahead and get it out of here and move it into pond. Initially, I thought I would just put it in an aroid mix in a self-watering pot, but the more I've been thinking about it, the more I want to try pond. And should I see that it's not responding well, then I'm happy to transition into an aroid mix instead. But so far, all of my anthuriums are in pond and doing well, so that's kind of what I'm just more comfortable with. I can see the roots. You probably can't see them super well, but they look really nice and chunky and healthy. So I'm hoping this is like easy peasy. We'll get started with this one since I think this is going to be the messiest, and then we'll go into the other two. I hope that you can see okay. We're just in my kitchen island. These are the pots that I was thinking we're going to use. I recently just repotted another plant into one of these, and I really like them because they're self-watering. This is the reservoir. They're clear, and then they're kind of like that same perfect 5.5-inch size that I can fit into one of my decorative ceramic pots. So hopefully I won't get any of that gross algae, and it's still, I can use some of those pots that I really haven't been able to use with all my self-watering. And yeah, I think that hopefully this will work great, but we'll find out. I'm also wondering if maybe they're too big for what we're gonna pot, but I guess let's find out. I do think this is the only, or like this is the smallest size that these are available. I think that they have them in like a 6.5-inch also, maybe 7-inch, but I don't know that they have them any smaller. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's bring this out. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of sphagnum moss period, but in particular any sphagnum moss on the roots. I just, you know, it's super easy to become hydrophobic or retain too much water. It's just too much of a variable for me. And it actually has, it's actually a mix of what looks to be sphagnum moss, charcoal, and perlite. So it's actually not really an aroid mix at all. It's like sphagnum moss is the base, which, yeah, that's not gonna work for us. I do have quite several plants that I need to pot up into my DIY aroid mix, or into more of a aroid mix situation, and I've been putting that off because I haven't mixed, and I'm out of my pre-mixed aroid mix, and I haven't mixed anymore, and I've just been delaying that. So watch out for that soon. Hopefully I get some good momentum and mix some of it up so that I can get some of those repots done. I have this huge laundry list of things I want to do like soon in the next month or so to really just get my plants set up in like a good situation for growing season. Okay. Okay, I think this is good. I'm gonna take it over to the sink and rinse some of this excess off, and then we will come back and pot her up. Oh, but I guess right now is a good time to see. I mean, I think it'll be okay since it's pond. If it was going into an aroid mix or a soil-based mix, I definitely wouldn't do this size, but I think because it's pond, it might be okay. I'll just make sure to keep the reservoir pretty low for now. As I was rinsing, I noticed a tiny little bit of rot, not a lot, very little, but I went ahead and I clipped those ends of the roots that were rotted, and so I'm just gonna let it soak with hydrogen or in hydrogen peroxide while we do the next plant, and then we will finish potting this one up. You can see, I don't know how well, but that bubbling, basically it's, you know, taking care of any of the bacteria that's going on in there. So that's what you want to see when you add them in here. So yeah, just to make sure and get started on the right foot, we'll wait on that one for a minute. And I'm super excited to show you the Monstera Burle Marx Flame. You saw this in my most recent import from Aroid Market, and I was a little bit concerned about it because the roots were pretty rotted, like completely. I think I had to chop 90% of the roots, if not more, and the new growth point also rotted off as I was like cleaning it and whatever, so it was really mushy and just like broke off. So I was expecting to not see new growth for quite some time, and look at this. I'm gonna have to add the date of when I received them. Actually, I know the date, duh. It was like January 30th or 31st, and it is now March 27th, and here we are. So not that bad. And I can see tons of good roots in here, secondary roots. This is still hardening a bit, but I just want to go ahead and get it out of here because this has gotten pretty gross. I want to give it a support and yeah, just get it set up. And I think I've pretty much made up my mind that I want to grow it in pond. So that's what we're gonna do. I love this chunky perlite. It's just, I mean, it's just so nice. I'm seeing some of those original roots are rotted. I may want to soak this one too, honestly. But it has really good, healthy roots. And secondary roots, which is nice. I don't know, maybe I don't have to soak it. Maybe just a nice rinse after I chop them. But yeah, it looks like all the original roots are gone, and even those that like that one that I kept is mushy, and that's normal with imports, so nothing to be alarmed about. But yeah, maybe I'm just gonna chop these and give this a nice rinse, and then we'll pot her up. Here she is, the new fresh roots. Yeah, I just chopped those end bits that were rotted, and then I just like sprinkled some hydrogen peroxide. I don't think it's necessary to soak it again because I soaked it when it first arrived, and obviously there was no new growth out of those roots or anything. So hopefully this is okay. Now, I haven't decided if I want to use a core pole or a clear. This is a thickly small, and I chose small just because I really only need it for support. So yeah, I mean, I think I'll probably do this because I wouldn't otherwise use a small one for anything else. So yeah, I think I'll just use the clear one. And maybe I should have done this before I exposed the roots like that, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assemble it and then just place it empty in the pot. I'm not going to add any sphagnum moss or anything. This is purely for support of the plant. So just like this. I'm gonna take this off for now. Yes, well, I mean, oh yeah, because when I stack them, I do want to know what goes in the bottom, what goes in the top. So either here in the center, no, I think I like this better. Kind of diagonal on where the grooves are in the pot. This is Lechuza pond I'm using today. I have been really lucky to have a pond plug because it's sold out all the time or it's gotten really expensive. But someone that I see frequently at local plant shows usually has it. So I've been so lucky with that. Okay. And of course I always reuse and sterilize. So that's helped too. Just put a little bit. This is hard. I think like this is what I want. Right? I'm never good at this, at like properly holding the pole so that it's right where I want it. This is reused pond, so as I see any debris, I'm just trying to get out or pull out. Okay, I think this is good. And I'll probably try to attach this, or maybe I can just guide that aerial root in there. Yeah, I think that that's probably good enough. And yeah, I'll add this bottom piece. And here she is. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe I have a fenestrated Monstera Burle Marx Flame in my collection. I am so excited about her. Okay, let's come back to the pap. I'm second guessing if this is like way too big for it. Kind of. But maybe if I just put it lower and then that way it's more shallow of a substrate situation for it, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yikes, I'm almost out of pond. I do have a new bag. A lot of the roots are peeking out up here, so I think I just need to reposition all together. I feel like, yeah. That's better. And then that way I don't have to fill it up as much. So here she is. I'm gonna bring them in the sink and give them like just a thorough rinse through on the pond so that everything settles. And then I'll come back and we'll water with our nutrient-rich cocktail and I'll show you the King of Clary. We're both gonna find out how that one's doing root-wise. Another thing I wanna do before I place these back in my collection is spray them down with my DIY pest repellent. So I actually just made a fresh batch yesterday, and yeah, I've been like making a new batch as I run out, and it's something that I'm just the ducks. I have just been making a new batch as I run out and then just watering my plants with it, or not watering, but spraying them down with it as I water them, since I haven't done my whole collection yet since I actually started. And it's been working out really well, I think. So I am happy to report I haven't seen signs of spider mites in my Millsbow wide since that video I last shared. And I do have quite a bit of new growth. The Warocqueanum is growing a new leaf. My King of Spades, the Fridex, I don't know, there's just lots of growth in there and they all look really nice and healthy. So I'm super happy to see that. But I definitely want to spray everything down at the next watering, which is going to be like in another day or so. So yeah, I just feel like spraying them down. Showering them in general is so good, but adding that pest prevention, I feel like, again, I used to do it so good and so consistently, and then last year I didn't, and I just struggled with spider mites a lot. So I'm really happy that I brought that back. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the reservoir. So yeah, I'm gonna spray them, and then at the very end of the video, I'll show you where I placed them in my collection. But I'm so excited to graduate these into my space and to have them potted up. And I'll go grab the Clary, and then let's find out and see how that one's doing and or what we need to do about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the King of Clary. So it did lose all its leaves pretty early on as it was acclimating. It did hold on to this one, which I don't even think, sorry, I'm seeing something in the back. Oh, I think it's just dust. Okay. Freak out. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Okay. Anyway, so it dropped all of its leaves pretty early on when it arrived, and it did hold on to this one, which wasn't even the newest leaf, but I guess it makes sense. It was pretty fresh, the one that was the newest. And let's, oh, the roots look good, I think. I'm wondering if we should bring it out of here and expose the, like just kind of resituate to expose the growth point, because I don't think I realized that I buried it. It is wet though, and I very much dislike working with wet pond. You know, I don't think I'm gonna, I don't think I want to disturb the roots. I'm just digging, oh here it is, here's the growth point. I just dug a little bit to kind of expose where hopefully the growth point is going to be. This was dry, probably just a rotted root or something. I don't know that you'll be able to see. But yeah, I think I would, or should I bring it out? Maybe I should bring it out. Maybe I should just bring it out. We can assess the roots entirely. Okay. I love how I say no, and then I'm like, yeah, let's do it. It looks like it might have 2 growth points. Yeah, but all the roots, no, this one's not good. Let's, ooh, all the way up here, huh? Let me bring my shears. I did just sanitize them since, you know, we were dealing with other rots. I mean, honestly, I feel like it's this entire one. This one's kind of soft too, and this one. I did soak this in hydrogen peroxide also when it arrived. And this could also just be normal from like when it arrived, you know? Because I feel like I held on to most of its roots. So it is normal for them to rot off a lot of their roots when they're first imported and transitioning. Okay, the rest, no, this one's bad. But in the bottom, it's good. But it's severed. Here we go. Yikes. I feel like this started off good and it's not great. That's good. It's good. It's good. Okay, I think that this is okay. So I'll just reposition it back in there. I'm not gonna well, actually, I'm gonna give them like a spray down with hydrogen peroxide just in case. And we're back. Okay. I'll try not to bury the growth point this time. I think the problem is there's like taller roots. But I think this is okay. Okay. I think that's much better. Since the pond is still pretty moist, I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to the reservoir so that I'm not watering through. And we're gonna keep this in the rack, I think, in the grow rack for more acclimation / recovery. And I usually will keep them there until they start growing, because I feel like once they start growing, then they've shown and proven that they're acclimated well enough to grow. So yeah, let's do that for this one. He'll go back in the grow rack. That was it for this video. Once I'm done talking here, I will show you where I placed them in my space. I am so excited to have these plants in my collection, and I hope that they do well with the transition. Of course, I will keep you updated. Anything I used, I'll link down below in case you're interested. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, please drop them down in the comments below. And I hope to see you really soon. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.